What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more George Kranz. As always, big shout out to Han Solo. And we're now moving to another album, 1989, Move It, with the hilarious and intriguing and perhaps telling subtitle, The Lost Art of Middle European Fingersnapping. I mean, that's one of the best subtitles for an album I've ever seen. I suppose it does suggest that fingersnapping and bodily rhythms and sounds will be a notable aspect of the record as a whole, and that's not terribly surprising, right? Like, we know that he uses vocal parts for melodies and percussive rhythms that are normally performed by proper instruments, so the idea of using finger snaps as a significant element in a song's rhythm, in a song's percussion, is very much in territory you would expect from the crazy man and genius George Kranz. So yes, the opening tune is the title track, though it is just Move It. It is not the full subtitled title track. But yeah, Move It, the idea of not remaining still or stagnant, the idea of affecting or manifesting energy and rhythm and dynamic behavior rather than, again, just being still and silent. So in that regard, let's listen and see how George Kranz moves it. This is Move It by George Kranz from the album of the same name, which, as I said, is 1989, and given the glorious subtitle of The Lost Art of Middle European Fingersnapping.
We got to move it.
Say yeah.
Do you know this is the time for starting, and it better be soon.
I like it a lot. It's, again, another one that is much closer to a normal song than some of his work, even though he still is doing some of those, like, energetic, visceral shouts, which are characteristic of his live performances. Again, shout out to Han Solo, who provided an insight into what he's like on stage with that performance that I did a video reaction to over on my Patreon. Check that out if you're interested. But seriously, like, his regular singing voice, so to speak, it's very good. It's like, when I got into him, it was like, oh my god, like this crazy vocal work, and he's, got these choirs doing like bass lines and drum sounds, like vocally, and I was so keyed in on all the things that set him apart and make him anomalous in the world of 80s music and popular music, that it took me a while to recognize. And again, there are a couple tunes that did this, that helped me see this more clearly, and this is another example. But like when he really, put some emphasis and energy into his normal vocal delivery, he has a very good voice. And I think the title phrase is being used here not just like, you gotta move it, you gotta change things, you gotta do things, and you gotta do it sooner rather than later, which is very much, I think, the essence, the main thematic thrust of what's happening. But he's also saying, like, obstacles, things in your way, you gotta move it, you gotta get it out of the way so you can engage in whatever endeavor. So it's, sort of like an inspiration, it's a prescription, it's an entreaty to not be still and stagnant and quiet and comfortable with the status quo. And I suppose if you go to like a higher level, it feels like that's kind of what he's trying to do with his music, right? He's trying to move it in new directions, in unprecedented directions, to try things that most artists, wouldn't even think of, never mind go for on a proper album. So yeah, I feel like this is in some ways, almost like a theme song for him. So yeah, really cool tune, and one where, I like the different keyboard layers. It does sound, a bit of that like synth funk, and sort of like it's a danceable tune. Certainly it's got a lot of energy and pace, but some of the keyboard work, it just kind of has that like late 80s synth funk sound to it. Apologize, it made the video R-rated just there. But yes, definitely a cool opener, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the album. I didn't hear any, I think, finger snaps, so apparently the finger snaps are still coming, but I am on alert for them given that amazing subtitle. So once again, shout out to Mr. Solo. Let me know what you think here, and I will see you next time. Peace.